Broadcasting live from Studio 23 on a Football Friday. Hour 1 is brought to you in part by Canadian Blood Services. Give hope to patients in Canada. Register online at blood.ca/get swabbed and spread the word amongst your family and friends. Well, we do love the Canadian Football League here in South Florida. It's our distinct pleasure to welcome the 15th Commissioner of the CFL, Mr. Stewart Johnston, to the RP Show, making his RP Show debut. Stu, welcome to the program, sir. Congratulations on the posting. How's the first 24 hours been?
Hey, Rod, thank you. It's great to be here. It's been a whirlwind. It is. I don't know what I expected coming in, but it's been a wild 24 hours. Start, with a media conference and availability. Talk about the league. Talk about my enthusiasm and passion for football. But I got to say, I started my first day yesterday in a quiet green room ahead of the media conference, and the staff here at the league office presented me with a game ball with my signature on it. And that was a pretty cool way to start my journey here with the CFL.
Congratulations. I saw that. I'm going to need a new one here. I got an old signature on this one. That was shipped to me by your guy, Lucas. But I'll tell you what, I watched the news conference on CFL Plus, which, by the way, has been seamless for me ever since it was introduced by the CFL. I'm sure you guys had a hand in that with TSN. I thought it went great. I think it was 23 minutes long. How did you feel the introductory address went?
I really enjoyed it. It was an opportunity for me to stand in front of not just the media in front of me, but all of you watching on CFL Plus and give hopefully a little taste of what I'm thinking about as I start this adventure and how excited I am and the growth opportunities that I think are in front of us, as well as a number of the challenges that we need to make sure we're tackling head on.
Well, I tell you what, as I was watching it, I was like, please, guys, don't ask my questions. Please don't ask my questions. And they didn't. So I got a few, Stewart. Well, one is since it's NFL draft weekend, and I know you guys is coming up next week, but do you ever envision a CFL draft which is fan attended? I'm sure there's reasons that there has been. It was over 30 years ago. Is that something that would ever be on your bucket list?
Yeah, I don't know if I can say specifically a fan-attended draft is straight up a top priority of mine. However, it would fit very much in my thought process of building significant tentpole events in the off-season. I think the NFL has done a fabulous job of creating enough events and talking points that keep the sport relevant 12 months a year. And I think that's something we at the CFL should continue to look to emulate. We do have some touch points, whether it's combine draft and so forth, but I want to have Canadians and CFL fans around the world talking CFL 12 months. I know you do, but I want all of them to. Yes. a cool draft event certainly could be one of those ideas.
I guess we got to make everybody fans because that's why we talk about it all the time. We're fans. And, Jim Barker had said on a recent show, he's with us every Friday, and he'll be up in hour 2 today, that you had negotiations with the NFL with regards to television contracts with TSN. So my next question on this is, how do you envision the CFL's relationship with the NFL? Where is it at, and where do you see it going?
Well, I've only learned of how strong the relationship is at the operational level, right? Game ops, the medical teams, health and safety, really strong relationships with the NFL and their counterparts there. Lots of the communication lines are wide open, lots of information sharing, lots of best practice sharing. And that's really comforting to me. I think perhaps at a more exact level, there hasn't been much of a relationship in recent years. And I have a long history with the NFL and negotiating many contracts and being, creating Bell and Bell Media as the home of the NFL, as well as the CFL over the last number of years. I think a relationship with the biggest sports league in the world that happens to play the same sport as yours can only be good. That doesn't mean a partnership is inevitable of any kind. But a relationship is important. Lines of communication are important, and I am looking to use the relationships I do have to develop those further.
Yeah. Being adversaries, I don't think would be a good idea. I'm not saying you are. I don't think that's a road, though, that we would want to go down.
I agree. I think that I just think the sport of football, no matter how many downs you play or what rules or how many players on the field, sport of football is outstanding. In all of its forms, and I do think we are complementary in many ways. And we should look at ourselves that way. So no, I'm absolutely not looking at any other football leagues as competitive.
Yeah, outstanding. Well, I'm going to probably jump around on some of my questions, but my co-host here, Darren DuPont, had this one for you, and there's a million from the viewers. Trust me, I'll get you out of here after 15 minutes. We could go all day, but Darren says, what is your dream broadcasting deal? Your next one with the league and the rights holder. What's your dream deal, as much as you could tell us?
Well, I certainly have a framework for what I want to see my dream deal deliver, and that's an optimization of that media deal. And what I mean by that is, I know most folks, when they think about a media deal in a sports organization, and for a major pro sports organization, the media deal is obviously an important plank of how the business gets run. And they often look straight to the revenue piece. And of course, that's incredibly important. But if there are three areas I'm looking at in optimizing a deal, it would be maximizing revenue, it would be maximizing reach, and it would be delivering us relevance against growth potential audiences. And if you want a specific on that, younger audiences, but also diverse audiences. Who can help us reach those audiences? I'm so confident in the entertainment value of our product that if we can get it distributed in the right way, I know that will be successful.
Well, listen, I'm not just buttering you up. There was a lot of things you said in the news conference yesterday that was heartwarming to me. Number one is that the product's great, which we all knew. Why do people want to pick it apart for whatever? It's not. The product is tremendous. And when you said that expansion's not a priority, I bring this up because Scott in Vancouver's watching. He says, are we allowed to talk CFL expansion with the new commissioner? Stewart, I have a moratorium on this show. We're not talking about expansion because it's not happening. And you confirmed that yesterday. So thank you. Hopefully it probably will come up every day in your life now, though, right? I'm getting asked about it.
It's certainly been. I've been asked a number of times in these 24 hours that I've begun since I began the job. And I've repeated what you heard, which is, no, it's not a priority. I think a leader of an organization, any type of business, one of their absolute key roles is to determine the allocation of capital. And by capital, I mean human capital, human attention, human effort, and financial capital, where you're spending your money. All of us operate within limited capital resources. Whether you're a massive, telco or you're a sports league, you always have limited resources. Where you're going to allocate? I want to allocate our resources against things we can control, and things we can control, include setting, determining how to take an unbelievably entertaining product and make it more entertaining. How to deliver it on platforms where people will be able to consume it. How do we innovate? How do we develop technology that will innovate against, data enhanced broadcasts or analytics or player safety, where innovation comes there? And then how do we ingrain ourselves in the communities even more so than we have in the past, especially at this time? I know you're in South Florida, but in Canada, there's a wonderful sense of patriotism going on right now, and a lot of focus on community. And I truly believe that the Canadian Football League delivers against that passion that we're seeing in the country. So those are things we can control. I don't know if we can control expansion right now.
Nor should you. There's other issues, like chasing after expansion money and stuff with a foundation that could be stronger probably isn't the best idea. Now, you're a broadcast guy. You come from the broadcast world like me. I think that's why we speak the same language here. You know we have a large U.S. viewership. Carlos in Indianapolis is watching. He writes in, he says, was the game ball signature the moment when it sank in? Or has it sunk? Was that the moment for you?
I'd say that was the starting point of it sinking in. Although I will say at the same time, it felt surreal. I tell a story that when I was a kid, this is from the heart story. When I was a kid, 9-10 years old, I begged my parents for an official CFL game ball as a Christmas present. And I knew, those aren't cheap. Even way back when I was 9 years old. And I said, combine it with Christmas, birthday, and next Christmas and make it one gift. That's how much I wanted to have an official game ball to play with my brothers and go play catch. And so to see that delivered, it had an element of being surreal. But boy, did it then sink in. It really said, that is my name. It says Commissioner. And then I jumped into the media conference, really felt, I'm now in the role. So I'd say yes, all of that combined had it sink in.
Only 15 guys have had that. That's
Only
a very
15.
small group, right? That's pretty cool, Stewart. I apologize to the viewers. We're not going to get to all of them. We'll try. But I wanted to ask you this personally. You referenced flag a lot yesterday in the 23 minutes. And I don't think Canadians realize how awesome it is. Maybe it's because that your daughter's playing it that it came on your radar. We broadcast the U.S. National Championships in Charlotte for USA football. And it's so entertaining. I don't care if it's 6-year-old girls or former college and pros. It's entertaining. Clearly, you know that.
Rod, I saw it. You heard me talk about my daughter. She just joined. For those of your listeners and viewers who didn't see what I said, but 14-year-olds, grade 9, all girls team, all girls high school league, and she just came back from every practice and every game with the biggest smile on her face. So it's entertaining to watch as a parent or as a fan of more elite level, but it's so entertaining to play. And then you add the fact that you don't have the expense of equipment. It's pretty easy to get going and get a team together or a league together. And I think, Rod, I've heard, I know of you and your background, and you even just said it on the intro of the show. You love football, and if you are like me, that if kids get footballs in their hands, they will fall in love. It's just that good a sport. And so, yes, I am hugely optimistic and ambitious with the sport of flag football.
Well, it felt like yesterday you just blurted out, football is simply the greatest sport in the world. Like, did you have that written in your notes, or did that just come to you? And you said it with such conviction. I'm like, oh, he believes this.
No, I believe it. No, that wasn't in my notes. I was feeling the moment. And I do. If I can tell you a story, I've been blessed in my previous career to attend the Masters golf tournament a number of times, and that is one of the most beautiful parks you've ever walked. And in the middle of that course, there's a massive, multiple acres expanse where there's no golf going on. And every time I'm there, all I think about with these professional golfers all around me is, I wish I had a football. I wish I had a football to throw it around in this amazing, beautiful area. So I'm in Augusta National, and I'm thinking football. It is just, and the sport is incredible, but just playing. I want kids playing catch. It is. Yes, it came from the heart.
Right. Well, I felt like it did. So thanks for explaining that. And as you know, was the CFL, not just football, the CFL is huge here in South Florida. So we're big fans, and I apologize to those that we couldn't get the questions in, but you're a busy guy, and we got you know the TV business. We got to get to a break. So Stewart, thanks for this. Congratulations again. Was there any quick message for our viewers that maybe didn't come across yesterday, or something that you would have wished you'd said?
No, I think I was happy with kind of the conversation that we had from the podium there. Look, I love the fans are the lifeblood of this league, and I am looking forward to going on a cross-country tour. listening to fans and team presidents and GMs and partners. We are in a state of continual improvement. We will never reach an end goal because we want to improve every day. And that is improving in entertainment. It's improving in the efficiencies of our business. It's improving all the way. And the fans are super important to give us feedback on how we can improve.
How about that?
Well, I look forward to bumping into you in a stadium. I come home in the summer, and I go to as many CFL games as I can. So, Stewart, congratulations again. Thanks for the time. You got a great one in Lucas, which you know. And
I do.
Have a great weekend.
Thank you. You too.
The 15th Commissioner of the Canadian Football League, Stewart Johnston. Now you know. I didn't get to all your questions, but maybe we can kick them around when we come back. Jim Barker coming up in hour 2. We're live here on the Game Plus Television Network, streaming live and podcasting wherever you enjoy your podcasts.